Hey everyone, so Tara Porter here from Methodical Blogger, and today I thought it would be great to share with you a little bit of my story and how, in a way, blogging really rescued me during a time that our family really needed it. And I think this might definitely help you out. The reason why I want to show this is because I really want you to see that you can do this too. And I'm also going to walk you through some first steps to help get you started because I think it can be really scary at first to go, okay, what about blogging? How do I get started? So I will pass on some tips just to get going. But I first want to talk with you about how it helped me in case perhaps it might help you. Fix my audio. Hopefully that doesn't impact our audio. All right. Trying some new tools today. So that's always a fun thing, right? So let me share with you how it all began. So it was several years ago when I was actually a student in education. I was earning my PhD. And during that time, a whole lot of things happened at once. You ever have those moments in your life? It was really difficult. I was a student. For that semester, because I was having a baby, I wasn't able to get the employment that I needed because of the maternity leave. There was an error with my student loans. There was a whole bunch of things that happened during that time that really put us in a financial crisis of me not being able to work and all these things going on. And it was incredibly stressful for our family. Add to that, this was a good news though. We had our baby. Jack was born. And so, of course, we had to pay for a baby. And then not long after Jack being born, my oldest was actually hospitalized. I found her unconscious, very scary. No parent wants to see that. She was unresponsive. And she was hospitalized for a bit, and it took 9 months for us to really get a strong diagnosis of what was up with her. So during that 9 months, of course, there were medical bills. And there were meetings I had to go to, a lot of things that really required me to be at home and present with her. Even to this day, I really had to be selective on jobs that I do because I got to stay nearby because when she gets sick, the illness that she has, I have to kind of be around her. So it caused so many issues. We actually had to leave a house that we were in. We had the memory that strikes me the most is there was a day where my son Jack was with my mom. He had like 104, like a crazy high fever for him, temperature. And we were out and we needed to get home. And we were stuck at a gas station. And I remember us just swiping card after card after card and having them decline because we had literally nothing. No money, nothing even on credit, absolutely nothing. And that was a low to be a mom and to not be able to get to my kid in a time of need. Honestly, all of this happened in several years' time and possibly even in a jumbled order as I'm trying to share it with you. But I want to share with you how in this time, I was able to start a blog that at least helped us tremendously during this time. That doesn't mean that things were perfect. Actually, we still had struggles, but it certainly kept us much more afloat than what we could have been. All right. So let me share with you a couple things that happened. So first off, at this time, I was cloth diapering my son. And I noticed some things that were happening. I was researching cloth diapers tremendously because he was leaking all the time. And I started to notice that all these reviews for cloth diapers were focused on all these different baby types or like one baby type. But like I had a skinny baby. So I kept wondering, like people would say like, oh, well, I have a skinny baby and this diaper works better. And I started to think about it. And using my background in research, I thought I would create surveys on diapers, have parents fill them out based on their baby's body type. And I would analyze the data. And basically I would tell people like, okay, here are the best diapers based on a skinny baby or based on a chunkier baby or a baby with larger legs. And I was able to help give people advice that was a little bit more tailored and not just here's one person's experience with their baby in a diaper and therefore it applies to everyone because all babies are different. So it was a need that I saw and I was stuck at home. I couldn't work because of the teaching situation and being home with my new baby. And so I just started blogging and I didn't knew hardly anything about blogging. I had a family blog, but I had to teach myself a lot of things. And Google's my best friend. YouTube is my best friend. And so I started to learn. And along the way, I started to earn income. So I was getting free diapers for my son, which is great. And both babies were in diapers actually. So the diapers were also for my daughter. And I was also able to earn some money through advertising. That took a little bit longer than getting the free diapers, but I was eventually able to do that. And I was starting to create a little bit of income to ease the stress on my husband as we were trying to get through this crazy time. So then things got better. We moved to a different house, and I was in a position where I was losing weight and having a great time. And I thought, you know what? I'm really excited about fitness. Why don't I start a health and fitness blog? So I was able to start doing that, and that was amazing. I was able to bring in more income and help support my family, help pay off some of those debts that happened during that crazy semester when I couldn't be working, and I had all the issues with the student loans. It was a mess. It was a mess. So the fitness business was absolutely fun and exciting, and it allowed us to do a lot. And what was cool was what I learned from blogging with padded tush stats, I was able to use in the fitness business. Now, I still kept padded tush stats, but I eventually was able to sell it, which was awesome because we took what we sold and we paid off a whole credit card. So that was an incredible thing that we were able to do by building up a blog. And then building up the fitness blog was really amazing. And all of this was so that I could be home with my kiddos at this time, especially as we had to be with Christy while she was sick. And this picture I'm showing you here, there were many moments where this was my reality. I was a full-time grad student. This was actually a time when I was a little bit more scattered than I should have been. I had a lot on my plate. But there are moments in your blogging journey where you might have your kiddos on your lap and be working. I'm at a place now where I'm working kind of around the kids, and I have a little bit more freedom of schedule to do so, especially since they're in school. But now I have a baby on the way. I have a baby due in August, and I'm in that mode again. I'm in that mode again where I'm preparing and helping to ease the financial burden on my family. I'm not going to be working during that time, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity that blogs give us to be able to earn that money from home. All right. So this is something that you can totally do, and it could help you out during whatever time that you have. The one thing I do want to say is that it takes patience. It's not like you start a blog tomorrow and you start earning money immediately. There are things like affiliate income where that could give you a little bit starting off. But a lot of things take a little bit of time to get started. And if you have questions on that, I can chat with you. You can ask below, and I can help give you some resources to help you. But just getting started. And the other thing, outside of just money, for me, blogging was my space. When I became a mom, all your space gets taken over, as you can see from this picture, right? And for me, blogging became this place where I was able to stick to me a little bit. And it didn't take from my kids much at all. I was able to help focus on me. And I've got some tips for you I can share in another video. Comment below if you want to hear it. But some tips on how I was able to do some really good time management, managing, teaching, being a student, being a mom, being a blogger. A lot going on there. So let me talk with you a little bit about how it helped us. First of all, provided extra income. Next, it allowed us to aggressively pay off debt, especially after we got past the crisis. We were able to aggressively pay off things. It allowed me to stay at home. And then, like I said, the last one that I threw in there is it really gave me a space, an outlet outside of mom life, right? So what are your first steps? Let's talk about that. So a couple things. The first thing is I want you to think about what you are passionate about. Yes, at that time I was passionate about cloth diapers because my kid was leaking 24/7, and it was incredibly frustrating. And I would spend hours reading reviews. I was obsessed. Yes, I probably could have just gone to Target and gotten a package of disposables and would have been fine, but I was very hell-bent on making sure that I got this particular cloth diapering system down for my son. So that was a really big passion that got me going. Fitness was another passion that got me going, and that business helped us tremendously. The other thing to do is to look for a need. So kind of like with the statistics with the cloth diapers, where I saw that all the reviews were focused on one baby and I wanted it to be at about several and different body types, I saw that need. So maybe take your area of passion, look around a little bit, see what's out there, and feel like what information do you feel is missing for you? And that could help give you a place to get started. Even if you're like me, I didn't have all the answers. I didn't know how to blog that well. I didn't know a lot of the tools, and I didn't know that much about cloth diapering, except it wasn't working for us. But I was determined to figure things out. The third thing, oh wait, let me rewind actually, because padded tush stats was all about statistics and stuff and that need that I found. Methodical Blogger, the site that I do now, it was because during that whole time that I was working on my blog, I would get so frustrated because I was trying to just do one thing, like, this is more recent, but like enable rich pins. How the heck do I enable rich pins? And I kept looking it up, and I just wanted someone to give me a simple guide. Give me an arrow and tell me exactly where to click. And that's kind of what I do with Methodical Blogger. I tell you, like, hey, you want to set up a really good menu? Click by click, let me walk you through how to do it. You want to set up a theme? Here's a theme I recommend, and click by click, let me show you how to get it set up so it looks amazing and professional. So that was kind of the focus that I have here. That was a need that I saw, was I needed more clear direction than what I was seeing out there. So pay attention to those needs. And the last thing is to simply get started. I think so often we think we have to polish up this perfect idea before we launch it, but jump out there. Do these little planning bits, think in advance about your passion and look for a need, but don't be afraid to just step in. I listened to a podcast yesterday by Chalene Johnson. She has one called Build Your Tribe. Totally recommend it. But she talked about just getting your feet wet. She said you don't look at a pool of water that's freezing cold and you don't just jump into it in the middle of winter, right? You might like stick your toe in it to feel how it is, right? You'd be crazy if you just jumped in without knowing how crazy cold it was. Just like with blogging, dip your toe in, get a feel for it. Don't feel like you have to have it all figured out before you get started, because I promise you, even if you think you have everything figured out, you're going to feel lost. You're going to feel at times that you don't know what you're doing, and that's when you learn. So I want to encourage you, just dive in and go for it and don't be afraid. Now, I do have a resource to help you get started so that you know kind of what to do. It's a blog launch checklist, and you can get it at methodicalblogger.com/freebies. And it walks you through everything. If you want to pick out a theme, I take you to instructions on my favorite theme and how to get it set up. Getting your ideas started, picking a niche, like narrowing who you're talking to, getting your colors set up. That's my favorite one. And picking those and coming up with your color palette. I walk you through everything that you need from start to finish to get your blog launched and started. So that's a great way to help you jump in. But I want to encourage you to consider this as an option, especially if, you could use a couple extra $100 to help your family, and over time that'll grow to even more. The big thing is to be patient with it and to start with that passion. If your passion is there, it's going to be easy to do it for a little bit without earning that immediate money. And then pretty soon over time, it's going to reward you. And if you have any questions with getting started, please comment below or send me an email, and I would be happy to help you out. All right, y'all. I hope this video was super helpful for you, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.